basically.
Right, I approached you backstage and I was like, oh yeah, the anti-hero story. And you're like, no, he's not the anti-hero. He just wants everyone dead.
It's not like you're used nowadays to this kind of anti-hero who's like House MD, like with a heart of gold, just a little grumpy. No, he just thinks we're a very inferior species and that we should be enslaved.
Looking at the trailer though, you can tell that you guys are staying faithful to the original game.
Yes.
But you're also bringing some new things as well. What are some of the additions you're adding to the game?
Well, basically, I think the first cutscene is a good moment to see like what we're keeping. So basically, the game is very well known for its humor, for its humorous dialogues. So those are completely unchanged. The story, the iconic story, the banter between these two aliens. And I think we'll maybe just enjoy that first iconic cutscene, and you'll see what I mean in terms of why these dialogues are so beloved.
Orthobox to Cryptosporidium. Come in, Cryptosporidium.
Crypto here. How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Very funny. Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure this invasion runs smoothly, it is imperative we identify the dominant life forms on this world. Those lactating bovoids are likely candidates.
Surely you don't mean those foul-smelling gas bags beyond the fence.
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
But they're covered in nipples.
Now, Cryptosporidium!
It is, yeah. This is basically they're arriving on Earth and they have no idea about what happens on Earth, what's the dominant life form, so they go and approach to talk to the cows. Here you can already see some of the new additions. He's much more agile, he can dodge, he can use the jetpack to slide across the ground and stuff like this, so we wanted to give him a lot more agility than in the original game. This is one of the basically skills that you had in the original as well. You can read minds, also the minds of cows. So now they're reading the minds of the cows to find out like whether they are basically the lords of this planet. All the game is basically completely motion captured. Not the cows and not the alien, but all the humans are motion captured, and the cutscenes are much more elaborate than in the original. So here's right away one of the next iconic one.
And you're saying that the voice lines are also the original voice lines from the game.
Yes, basically this is exactly the dialogues from the original game, so we kept that intact. Because there's basically, there's nothing to improve there. So the only thing that we're doing is basically adding much more camera angles, much more elaborate animation. Basically, the original game had like 3 CGI cutscenes and then in-game cutscenes that were rather, but we have a German team basically working on this, on all these cutscenes, improving the kind of filmic feel of all of them. And now you can see one of the biggest things about the game basically is the telekinesis ability. So this, in the original, basically locked you into telekinesis and you couldn't do anything else. So what we wanted to do is make it much more combat focused. So as you can see, you can simply grab them and hold them up next to yourself.
I feel
and then
so
you
bad. They're flailing so much.
But yeah, basically it allows you to still be very mobile. And later on you'll see that when you now get a weapon, you can do all this simultaneously now. In the original, these were separate things. You either do your telekinesis, or you pop the brain of the human out of his head, or you shoot him. And now it's just like a seamless experience of doing everything at the same time.
I don't think I ever wanted to throw a cow before, but I really have this strong desire now to throw cows. What other abilities, or maybe just a sense of progression, is that sort of something that happens in the game where you get more abilities?
Exactly. So basically, this is the brain extract ability, which you can both do on deceased persons, but also on living humans. And then you've got stuff like mind reading, and you can pose as a human so that they don't see you and you don't raise the alert level, and the police doesn't come and stuff like this.
Yeah.
The other form of progression is simply within the telekinesis, that at the beginning you're able to lift like smaller objects. You can throw a tire in somebody's face or a hatchet or something, and then later you just grab an entire tank and slam it in their face, which is also something you want to do. And the nice thing now is that you can also do it like, you can jump up in the air, use the jetpack, throw something down on the, like this, or you just grab the person himself, drown him in the lake. So it's, but all in a funny kind of way. It's all good, all fun and games.
You gotta have a sense of
this
humor.
You can see, like, normally at this stage in the game you wouldn't be able to lift this massive thing.
Yeah.
But as this is our E3 demo, we just wanted to show off, how this will be at the end of the day. Now he's using the brain extract to just decap. It's like a bit of like a Jedi kind of choking
mind,
thing where you just, pop their brains out of their head.
The action, there's a lot of fluidity in the action, the movement, the frame rate. It looks wonderful. How important was that, bringing the game forward to make it feel so much better?
That was for us a big emphasis, because we didn't want to stray too far from the original game. We want to keep it a faithful remake. We really want to give the players to have the best experience of playing this game, not like something inspired by the first game.
Right.
So we're focusing on the details of making sure that the game feels like people remember it, and they remember it as something really great, because it was, but certain aspects obviously age because it's just a PS2 era game. So making him a lot more agile with the boosting, you have got more air time when you fly with your jetpack. That gives you a lot more time to just aim and shoot and grab something, throw it, all this kind of stuff. And the dodging, and you have a focus mode where you can basically strafe, which nowadays is just standard in most third-person shooters. So I think stuff like this, people don't even remember that it wasn't in the game. So those are the things that we try to address to make sure that it feels modern, but at the same time you have the feeling you're just playing the game that you've loved so dearly.
Great.
Now, unfortunately, we are running out of time, but you